The route through the central passage is clear. The route I propose will secure our future.
Every day, people reveal secrets they never intended to share. Not through their words, not through their social media posts, and not through carefully rehearsed conversations. They reveal them through tiny movements, subtle gestures, and unconscious behaviors that occur beneath the surface of awareness. A slight lean backward, a glance toward the exit, a forced smile that lasts a fraction too long. Most people miss these signals completely. But behavioral scientists have spent decades studying the hidden language of human behavior, uncovering clues that can reveal confidence, anxiety, attraction, discomfort, deception, and even hidden motives. The surprising part is that many of these signals happen automatically. People often communicate more through their bodies than through their words. And while no single gesture can expose someone's thoughts with certainty, certain patterns can provide remarkable insights into what may be happening beneath the surface. In this video, we'll explore 9 fascinating body language clues that may reveal someone's hidden intentions and why understanding them could completely change the way you see human interaction.
We bring the truth before this court.
Some of these signs are surprisingly common. Others are so subtle that most people never notice them. And one of them may completely change how you interpret conversations forever. If you're fascinated by psychology, human behavior, and the hidden forces that influence our everyday lives, make sure to subscribe and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Most people assume that communication is primarily about words. If someone says they're confident, we believe they're confident. If they say they're interested, we assume they're interested. If they say they're telling the truth, we often accept their statement at face value. But psychologists have long known that human communication is far more complex. In fact, researchers studying social interaction discovered that people often rely heavily on non-verbal information when interpreting others. Imagine 2 job candidates. Both answer interview questions perfectly. Both have impressive qualifications, yet one leaves a strong positive impression while the other does not. Why? Often, the difference lies not in what was said, but how it was communicated. Body language influences how people perceive confidence, trustworthiness, competence, and sincerity. However, this is where many misconceptions begin. Popular culture frequently claims that a single gesture can instantly reveal deception or hidden intentions. Crossed arms supposedly mean defensiveness. Looking away supposedly means lying. Touching the face supposedly signals guilt. But human behavior isn't that simple. Context matters. Culture matters. Personality matters. And that's where psychology becomes far more interesting. Because the truth isn't found in isolated gestures. It's found in patterns. And researchers would soon uncover something even more surprising. As behavioral science evolved, researchers began studying how people communicate without words. What they found challenged many assumptions. People constantly leak information through unconscious behavior, not because they want to, but because the brain often reveals emotional states before conscious thought can fully control them. One important discovery involved what psychologists call non-verbal leakage. This occurs when someone's body communicates emotions that their words attempt to hide. Imagine a salesperson saying they're completely relaxed while repeatedly fidgeting, or a person claiming they're happy while displaying signs of tension. The body and the verbal message may not match. Researchers also discovered that humans are remarkably skilled at detecting these inconsistencies, even when they cannot explain why. Have you ever met someone and immediately felt that something seemed off? You couldn't identify a specific reason, yet your instincts were sending a warning signal. Psychologists believe this may happen because the brain subconsciously processes countless behavioral cues beyond conscious awareness. But the next discovery would challenge everything experts believed about communication, because hidden intentions are often revealed through clusters of behaviors rather than individual actions. And that's where our 9 clues begin. Clue 1. The direction of the feet. Most people focus on faces, but behavioral experts often pay attention to feet. Why? Because feet are surprisingly honest. During conversations, people frequently point their feet toward what interests them, or away from what they want to leave. Imagine speaking with someone whose upper body appears engaged. They're smiling, they're nodding, everything seems positive. Yet their feet remain pointed toward the door. Their subconscious mind may already be focused on leaving. Have you ever noticed this behavior? You might start seeing it everywhere. Clue 2. The genuine versus forced smile. Not all smiles are created equally. Researchers studying facial expressions found that genuine smiles typically involve muscles around both the mouth and eyes. Forced smiles often affect only the mouth. The eyes remain unchanged. This doesn't mean someone is lying, but it may indicate that the emotion being displayed is not fully authentic. However, this wasn't the most surprising part, because another clue often appears before words are spoken. Clue 3. Sudden changes in behavior. One of the strongest indicators of hidden intentions isn't a specific gesture, it's a sudden shift. A normally relaxed person becomes tense. A confident speaker suddenly hesitates. An energetic individual becomes unusually quiet. Behavioral changes often reveal that something significant is happening internally. The key is establishing a baseline first. You can't detect change unless you know what normal looks like. And this principle is used everywhere, from business negotiations to criminal investigations. Clue 4. The barrier effect. Humans instinctively create barriers when they feel uncomfortable. A coffee cup, a laptop, a handbag, a folded jacket. People often place objects between themselves and others when experiencing tension or uncertainty. It's a subtle attempt to create psychological distance. Most people never realize they're doing it. Yet the behavior appears surprisingly often, but researchers would later discover an even stronger signal. Clue 5. Mirroring. When people feel connected, they frequently mirror each other's behavior. They adopt similar postures, similar gestures, sometimes even similar speaking patterns. Mirroring often indicates rapport, comfort, or social alignment. Sales professionals, negotiators, and charismatic leaders frequently understand this principle. But there's an important twist. Artificial mirroring can also be used as a persuasion technique, and that brings us to the darker side of body language. Clue 6. The disappearing gesture. People naturally gesture when expressing thoughts. When gestures suddenly disappear, something interesting may be happening. A person becomes unusually rigid. Their hands stop moving. Their movements become controlled. This can occur when someone is carefully monitoring their behavior or feeling increased pressure. Would you have recognized this warning sign? Most people don't. Clue 7. Touching the neck. The neck is one of the most vulnerable areas of the body. Researchers have observed that people often touch or rub their neck when experiencing stress, uncertainty, or discomfort. It's believed to function as a self-soothing behavior. Again, context matters. One gesture alone proves nothing, but repeated patterns can provide valuable clues, and the next signal is one that almost everyone overlooks. Clue 8. The timing gap. Sometimes the clue isn't the gesture, it's the timing. A genuine emotional response often appears instantly. A delayed reaction may indicate that someone is processing how they should respond. Imagine giving exciting news. A genuinely surprised person reacts immediately. A delayed smile may suggest a different emotional process. Small timing differences can reveal a lot. Clue 9. The exit scan. This final clue is remarkably common. People who want to leave a conversation often begin scanning their environment. They glance toward doors, check the time, look around the room, shift their body orientation. Their attention gradually moves away from the interaction. Long before they verbally end the conversation, their body may already have made the decision. And once you notice this behavior, it's almost impossible to unsee it. Body language isn't just used to understand people. It can also be exploited. Throughout history, manipulators have understood that trust is often emotional rather than logical. Con artists build rapport quickly. Cult recruiters create feelings of belonging. Skilled deceivers project confidence. Many use carefully controlled body language to influence perception. One reason scams succeed is that victims often trust confidence more than evidence. A calm appearance can create an illusion of credibility, even when the facts suggest otherwise. And that's where things become dangerous, because humans naturally assume that confidence equals competence. Yet the truth is far stranger. Some of history's most successful fraudsters mastered appearance before mastering substance. Their body language created trust long before anyone verified their claims. What would you do in that situation? Could you separate confidence from credibility? Many people can't. And that's exactly why understanding these signals matters. Consider a high-stakes business negotiation. Two executives sit across from one another. One speaks confidently, but as specific financial details emerge, subtle changes appear. His posture shifts, his gestures decrease, his attention drifts. None of these signals prove deception, but together they suggest increased psychological pressure. Experienced negotiators notice these changes, not because they can read minds, but because they recognize patterns or consider law enforcement interviews. Investigators are trained not to rely on single gestures. Instead, they observe clusters of behaviors and significant deviations from baseline behavior. The same principle applies to relationships. Imagine a friend enthusiastically agreeing to plans. Yet throughout the conversation, they repeatedly glance away, create barriers, and display signs of discomfort. Their words communicate one message, their behavior communicates another. Which should you trust? Psychologists suggest paying attention to both. Because human communication is often layered and complex. Have you ever experienced something similar? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. So how should you use this information? First, avoid becoming a human lie detector. That isn't what body language research supports. No gesture can reveal someone's thoughts with certainty. Second, focus on patterns rather than individual behaviors. Context is everything. A crossed arm may indicate discomfort, or simply that someone feels cold. A lack of eye contact may indicate anxiety, or cultural differences. The goal isn't judgment, it's understanding. Third, pay attention to inconsistencies. When words, emotions, and behaviors align, communication often feels authentic. When they conflict, curiosity may be appropriate. Finally, use these insights to improve your own awareness. Notice your own habits, your own reactions, your own unconscious signals, because understanding others begins with understanding yourself. And that's when everything changes. The world starts revealing details that once seemed invisible. conversations become richer, relationships become clearer, and human behavior becomes far less mysterious. Long after the conversation ends, the decision is made, or the moment passes, the psychology behind it remains. Invisible, powerful, often unnoticed. Yet these hidden forces shape relationships, careers, reputations, societies, and sometimes even the course of history itself. Every glance, every gesture, every choice, every interaction. Each one tells a story about who we are, what we believe, and the unseen forces influencing our behavior. And perhaps the most remarkable part is that these forces affect all of us, every single day. Because behind every action lies a hidden motive. Behind every decision lies a psychological process. And behind every human story lies a deeper truth, waiting to be understood. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please like the video, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. And until next time, keep questioning what lies beneath the surface of human behavior.